Hey friends, it's Jennifer. I hope you guys are doing well. I'm back again with card number 12. If you want to see how I make these cards, I will put the video in the cards up above. And I did use prompts again. And my prompts for today are batting and a button. And I have a scrap piece of batting here that I'm just going to use, and I've got a variety of buttons. So let's get into making this card. The only other prompt or rule that I have for this month is that I'm going to be using a green theme. So everything needs to be green-ish. I mean, you can use different colors, but for the most part, it's going to be green. So you can just see me here using different colors of green paint to paint on this card. Paint will cover up these cards if you do several coats worth, but here I'm just using the second ply of a napkin, and I'm just going to lay it down just for some texture over top of the card, and I'm just using that green paint to adhere the napkin down to the card. So now I'm just going to trim the excess off around the card. And so here it is. There's a little corner that didn't get glued down, so I'm just going to apply some glue there and press it down and adhere that down. And now I'm just trying to decide on what buttons I'm going to use. Again, I've got a variety of buttons. I did wind up going with green colored buttons. And so now I'm just going to take my piece of batting and I'm going to rip off the edges just to make it look more frayed there. And I'm just going to glue it down with regular glue. And now I'm just trying to arrange my buttons on how I might like them on the card. And now that I've decided, I'm going to hot glue the buttons down. I'm not going to glue in the holes of the button, only on the outside, because I'm going to take some embroidery thread and sew through the buttons on the card. And so now I'm just trying to choose a needle. You'll want to pick out a needle that will go through your button on your card, through the buttonhole. If you pick out a needle that's too big to fit through there, it won't work. So I'm just going through here trying to pick out which needle will go through the button, and I found the one. Now I'm just taking my embroidery thread and I'm just going to thread my needle, and I'm going to take the awl and I'm just going to punch through the holes in the button on the card just as far as I can get it through there, just to make the hole. And I'm just going to take my thread and sew through the button holes. I am not going to tie off each button after I sew it. I'm just going to leave the stitch in there and just run all the way up through each of the buttons up the back, just like a running stitch through the holes, because the buttons are actually glued down with hot glue. So you can see there that I just went through the button holes, and now I'm going to do that for the remainder of the card. I'm just going to punch through the holes in the buttons, and then I'm just going to continuously run the stitch up the back of the card. And now that I'm done running through the top, I'm just going to run my thread through the back of the card through the loops down back to the bottom where I can tie a knot and tie that section off. I'm just trimming those extra threads. So here you can see I've got all of those sewn down, and I'm going to take it to my sewing machine and sew around the edges, which I did here. I'm just going to trim those threads a little bit. Now I cut out a circle for the number on this card, the number 12, and so I'm just going to write on this card that it is the number 12. And I'm just going to glue that down. Now I'm going to put a heart on the card. I'm just going to use this green dyed paper here. I'm just drawing a heart, and I'm putting a heart on everything that I do this year to remind me to love myself, love others, and love my work especially. And so I'm just cutting it out here, and I'm just going to glue it down on the card as well. Of course, I'm going to ink around the card. I'm also going to punch the corners on the card with the Crop-A-Dile corner puncher. You don't have to, I just choose to do that with my cards. And I always write on the back of each card, just in case some of the elements fall off. And here it is, card number 12. I've got the buttons and the batting on here. I've got a heart and I've sewn around it. And I really hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, and maybe it'll give you some inspiration to make your own set of altered cards. I'll see you the next time.